Okay,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I'm so glad that I wore a shirt because, as predicted, you look stunning.
Oh, honey, I had to give a little something for this live.
Well, listen, I don't know if you saw when we were doing it back in like the Love is Blind days, but we were literally like on here in like tracksuits and
Oh no, oh no. You have to catch me out and about to be in like a tracksuit and you have to catch me in real life. But I knew I was coming to talk to you today, so I'm like, okay, let me make sure I look good.
oh, well, love a girl that makes an effort. I'm also a boy that makes an effort, and also the fact that I'm sitting at a table, I feel like I'm like on a virtual date with you.
Oh, am I making you blush?
No, I feel like pop your boobs out and then we'll see.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you so much for joining me. I'm like so
Sure.
glad to speak to you
Yes.
because I do feel like even though like realistically what we got to see of you on the show wasn't as long probably as I know definitely as I would have liked. I know for sure that you definitely made an impact still on the people that were watching it.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us like a little rundown on how you maintain the bad bitch energy?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's natural. I feel like you have to be born to have like that bad bitch energy. Like it's in you, not on you. So if you don't have it in you, I don't know. But the show was crazy. I know a lot of people wanted to see more of me. I mean, hell, I wanted to see more of me, but it just didn't work out that way. But it was a crazy, crazy experience. You know, I've been getting a lot of support online, so I'm like happy to see all the comments, all the positivity. I know people really want me to find like a match. Didn't happen then. I mean, I'm still looking, but it was a great experience. I don't know, I just walked in as myself. Like I'm very authentic. So when I walked in and I seen that there was nothing there for me, I'm like, let me go to the bar, let me get my drink on and enjoy enjoy the views of this house because the villa was incredible, and let me just enjoy the vibes, and then I'm taking my ass home. Like it is what it is.
Relatable. Listen, if I turned up and I'm like not seeing a match for me, I'm going straight to the bar too. Like we're
Right.
taking this free bar home. Yes.
There's free drinks, there's free tequila, there's some champagne. I'm like, okay, let me take advantage.
Yeah, and like you're low key in paradise. Like it looked gorgeous.
It was so beautiful. Oh my God. We spent a month there. So like I felt like a citizen at the end of it. I'm like, I like live here now. So
It was Panama, right?
it was in Panama.
Panama, yeah.
It was in
Yeah,
Panama.
Panama looks gorgeous.
It
And
was.
so when you came in, it was very much, I mean, at least to me, it did seem that you were like one of the very few people that were, I guess, taking it seriously if, to find your match was actually the point of the show. It seemed like that's what you were there for. But it also seemed like at the same time, you were not willing to lower any kind of standards to remain in the house if that wasn't what you were going to get.
Exactly. Like, first of all, I see a lot of people, they're like, why did you do the show? That's like the number one question. Like, why did you do the show? Like, nobody on there, like, we thought would be, up to your standards, whatever case may be, because I know how people view me and I view myself in a way too. Everybody has their standards. Nothing against any of the guys there because I think they're great. I want to make that clear. Like, we're all like, I'm cool with everybody. So I think everybody was great. Just nobody was my vibe. So everyone's like, why did you agree to do the show? First of all, I didn't know who was gonna be there. So they're like, knowing that those guys were there, why would you do it? We had no idea who was going to be in the house. Like we were kind of told that it's going to be like, a big show with different like fan favorites from different Netflix shows. So we had an idea, but they did not tell us who would be there. So it was a complete shock to me. And of course I did it because it's a great opportunity. I love Netflix. So if they call you and say, "Hey, we want you to do something," you're going to do it. It's Netflix, right? Like I'm a part of the Netflix family, love them. And I thought it was gonna be dope. I thought it was gonna be dope, but there was just nobody there for me. And I'm not gonna fake it. Like I cannot fake anything. Like I could easily said, you know what, let me just try to match with somebody and fake it all the way to the end, and hopefully we could be voted the perfect match. But you guys, I'm telling you, if I'm not being authentic, you guys y'all would have saw that immediately. You'd have been like, Colony's there, she's bullshitting, like she's not there, she doesn't like this guy, and it just wouldn't have been good. So I'm like, I can't fake it. Let me just head out.
Do you think there was anyone there that was faking it?
I definitely think that there were people who were playing it, like they were in it to win it. So they were definitely playing it to just win the title of perfect match. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a competition. And I kind of didn't know that either. Like I came in it like, oh, it's gonna be a fun little dating show. I didn't really know that it was a competition. Remember, I came in like after the fact, so I don't know what's going on in the house. Like we have no contact with anybody. Like my girl Ann was there. I did not talk to Ann until we like got into the house together. So I didn't even know what she was going through. So like I walked in there, and then that's when I realized what was going on. It's a game. People are already matched up. So you got to come in here and essentially be a home wrecker and break somebody up and continue on. So once I caught on to that, I was like, yikes, like i don't I don't do that.
So did you know that you were coming in late though, or did you think you were going in at the start?
No, I knew I was going in late.
Okay.
I knew it had already started. Like I knew production had already started filming. I just didn't know who was in the house yet or who
Okay.
was like matched up. So yeah, I knew they had already had their thing, but I didn't know what was going on.
So you said that like obviously nobody in the house was really your vibe. Um, who would you who would you put? You don't have to like you don't have to rank them all from like start to bottom, but who would you put as like most likely you'd be compatible with and least likely you'd be compatible with out of all of the men that were on the show?
So what you guys don't see is me and Will actually got to talk, and like me and Will hit it off. I think Will's a cool guy. Like I think Will's super attractive as well. Like he's a nice looking guy. So, like out of all the guys, I would probably rank Will like number one, just because we got along well. And I wish that kind of played out a little bit on the show, but it is what it is. Um, who else? Joey was great. Like Joey is like my guy. He's super nice. I call him the dad of the house because like every time somebody came in, he just welcomed everybody with open arms. Like that was like Will owned the house, so that was his house. He stayed there the longest. Not Will, Joey. I'm sorry. So Joey was super cool. Like me and him connected. Me and Damien had great conversations too. Like Damien's a really, really cool guy. I know he was like stuck on Francesca the entire time, but when he was able to get away and I was able to talk to him, I thought Damien was cool. So I guess top three, I would probably say Will, Joey, based off personality, not based off of like any like attraction or anything. Same with Damien. Zay's cool too. Like Zay's my guy. I feel like let me round it off to like a top five, and then
No,
I
come
would
on,
do
girl.
five.
You're giving fence sitter.
I'm giving what?
Fence sitter. I just want a top one and a bottom one. I don't care who's in the fucking middle.
I'm being too nice. Okay. So number one would be Will, or yeah, number one would be Will, and then like the last person would definitely be Bartise. Yeah, no,
Uh,
I don't think that's a big shocker.
but I actually like from we only saw obviously like a very small portion of the conversation again. So it really just seemed to be like you saying like, yeah, I'm not getting that vibe. But then, and I asked the same thing to Izzy when you came out of the Perfect Match house. Did you then watch Love Is Blind and you were like, oh, I was like dodging bullets like the Matrix.
I still have not watched his season of. I've seen enough. It's all over the internet. I feel like I've seen enough. I don't need to go back and watch that. Like I already know what he did. Like if a million people are saying you did something, I feel like that's you did it. Like I don't need to go back and watch. So um yeah, Bartise is just, and I mean, nothing against the guy, like, because I know he's already getting it from everybody, so I don't want to add on to it.
No,
but
no, no.
not my vibe. I don't really like because you can see it, like how he kind of switched on Abby. It was like something just switched and he went off. And Abby's my girl. She's another Gemini, so me and her connected too. Um, I love the way she handled him as well. Like I thought she handled him very good. But I was like, yo, this guy is crazy. And what you guys don't see is like, first of all, that conversation with me and Bartise was super short. It was longer in real life, like as we were filming, but they cut it down to like whatever you see. We talked about other things. I don't really like how they just got to the point where I'm like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Like that wasn't it.
Mm.
Um, but I am a straightforward person too, so I like to let you know like what I'm looking for. And it was just weird. He's like, I don't want to get married, but you're just on a show trying to get married. So weird. But what you guys don't see is like how he flipped on Izzy in that moment. I was shocked that Izzy got back with him because me and Izzy left that night because Bartise didn't match with her and she thought he was going to match with her.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
ended up picking Inez that night. So it was like Izzy was very like upset about that, and I was upset for her because I'm like, me and him didn't vibe, but I would see him throughout the night, and he was with Izzy the entire night, and I was like, oh yeah, he's picking her. I thought me and Inez were going home. I was actually talking to Inez. I'm like, yo, girl, like, you ready to go? Because we're out of here. Like, and then when he switched up and picked her, it was like, yo, this guy, he's a wild card. Like, you don't know what he's gonna do.
you really don't. And
Yeah.
I think like definitely Nancy. I get Nancy would attest to that too from Love Is Blind. I'm sure.
Yeah, like I think she dodged a bullet. So good for her. Like I don't know her and like I said I haven't watched it, but if she didn't marry him, that's great cuz he's a little wild. I was like, "Damn, Bartise." So yeah, he's not my type of guy at all. I don't like people who can just flip on you like that, show or not. I just feel like at a certain time like that's kind of like who you are a little bit.
Yeah,
So.
100%, definitely. I feel like cameras on or off. If you can do it that easily, then you've had practice.
And you did it twice. Like you switched it with Izzy and then you went back and you switched it with Abby. It was like
Mhm.
that's weird. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so just like moving on from that a little bit, can you tell us a bit more just about like your relationship with dating in general, like and how that's progressed, and also like a little bit about your relationship with yourself too, if that comes into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll talk about my relationship with myself. I mean, I'm super big on like self love and knowing your worth. Because it took me a while to get to that point. I feel like every woman at a certain point, we tend to date guys who don't really know our value or, we'll be like so out of this person's league, but we'll still like give them a chance. And I think that it comes to a point where you need to do like some cleaning and say, hey, I'm done dating F boys. Like, if your intentions are to get married and to have children and to have, or even if it's not marriage, like a healthy, good relationship, then I think that you definitely have to do some self work because you cannot continue to go on like that and seeking a partner like that if you're not whole with yourself. So I'm super big on like being whole before coming into a relationship. Like, I don't want to give half of myself to somebody if I know I'm not ready or if I'm not healed. So I am super, super big on like just doing inner work. Like if I have to take a certain time and like not date anybody and not talk to anybody, then I'm going to do that because, self love is the best. Like if you don't love yourself, first of all, you can't love somebody else, I don't think 100% the way they need to be loved. And you can't expect for somebody to love you the way you need to be loved because you don't even know how to love yourself. So
So
I'm big on that.
let me just sorry to interject you, but let me just ask you quickly. So just talking about like going to work on yourself before you get into a relationship, what kind of things would that involve?
It's so for me, it is journaling. Like, how am I feeling today? Writing it down. It's getting advice from like people who are close to you in certain scenarios. So I'm big on if I did something in the past, I want to ask a man for his perspective. I have girlfriends, but I feel like a girl isn't going to give you realness. So I might call like my brother or my dad, like, "Hey, I need a man's perspective. Somebody who's going to give me like the
Yeah.
raw answers, who's not going to sugarcoat anything for me because I have people who care about me and they may not tell me exactly what I need to hear. So like I am somebody who wants the hard truth. So I go seeking for advice. And then you have to learn how to date yourself too. Like you have to learn like what do you like? So if I get into a relationship, how can I show somebody that I like this? So if it's going on like a cute little solo date or taking yourself to the spa, I love going to the spa and just really like recentering yourself so that when you get with somebody, you can say, "Hey, these are the things that I like to do." Cuz some girls don't even know what they like. And it's like how can you even like expect for a man to know what you like or know how to love you or care for you if you don't even know yourself. So I think taking those steps help you understand yourself better and just having like alone time, like cutting out the noise and just kind of like sitting with yourself is big too.
So did you have like you were talking about obviously you wasn't always didn't always have this level of like self-respect not self-respect necessarily but self-worth.
Self-awareness. Self-awareness I think is the word. Yeah.
Was there like a turning point for you where you were then like, okay, this is what needs to change? Like, especially in respect to your dating life, because listen, we've all dated absolute bottom of the barrel trash men before.
Yes.
And I know for me, I definitely got to a point where I was like, okay, things have to change.
Right, right. So I think, like you said, like after a certain amount of like, relationships that don't work out, and maybe you're like encountering the same types of men, it's like, okay, well, let me do some look on myself because maybe I'm attracting this because of something that I'm doing. So I think that's like what it comes down to for me is like, what is the saying? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. Like if you
Mm.
keep doing the same thing over and over again, it doesn't make any sense. So you have to say, hey, let me pull back, let me analyze the situation. What can I change about this? And then after I started doing that, my dating life has gotten 10 times better. So
You know what? Honestly, it was a very similar thing for myself too. And I think what one of the key points that you said was that it's like a pattern. Once it
yeah,
gets to like the fourth or the fifth or the sixth douchebag, you can't keep saying, "Oh, I just attract these men." Like it's something you're allowing yourself to attract those types of men.
exactly. And I'm so big on accountability. Like if you
So
don't hold yourself accountable, then what like how are you going to ever get to the next step of what you need to do? So I'm big on change. So yeah, you got to kind of look at yourself. Definitely.
totally. I mean, like I feel like you're the only person really. Oh, sorry, I'm still here. I'm just that's my app telling me that I should get off TikTok for the day.
Self-control.
Well, no, that's what I don't have. That's why I have an app to tell me to do it.
I love it.
But listen, we're still working within the mental health sphere. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me control my time on social media.
Yes.
Um, so just with regards to like dating and stuff, do you use the apps? Are you on Raya?
You know what? Somebody told me I should get on Raya. I have never done a dating app in my life. Like I just don't. I like to meet people. I don't think I've ever met anybody, even like through social media. I don't think I've always met like the guys who I really take serious. I've always met them in person. Like I may have chit chatted with somebody through Instagram, whatever, but like the guys who I end up like really being in something with, I've always just met them just out and about, like randomly, and I feel like those are the best interactions. But I am not opposed to Raya now because I am not opposed. That's probably the only dating app I think that I would do.
I see you,
Definitely.
girl. She got the blue check and she was like, I'm gonna join Raya.
I need to join. But there's like so you have from what I hear, you have to like somebody has to not sponsor you, but they have to like recommend you on there. Like it's not easy to get on there. And I'm like, hello, can somebody like recommend me? Like get your girl in there.
You will probably know someone. So when you open the app, it will come up with like everyone in your phone book who has Raya.
Okay.
So even if you have people that you don't know that are on it, like you would probably open it up and then you'd have other people that were on other reality shows that are part of Raya. And then you can just see them and you can click on them. I just put people as my referrals, even if they don't know about it.
Oh, I need to do that. Wait, are you on there?
No, I didn't get accepted yet.
Oh, so you're like, okay, you're in the waiting list. Okay. Okay.
I don't like that phrase, waitlist.
You're on the waiting list. That's okay. You'll be accepted soon. And then when you're accepted, you have to let me know how it is. So that,
Yeah.
and then maybe you can push me through, you know.
No, you're definitely going to get on there before me. You can push me through
I'm
because
gonna
all
have
of
to,
the...
I'll push you through. I'm gonna get on
Yeah,
there. I'm gonna
okay.
see who I know, and then I'm coming back for you. So be ready.
Yeah, because did you watch, on Selling Sunset, Emma Empanadas? She was like,
Yes.
oh, Ben Affleck messaged me.
Yes. I saw that. I saw that. I was like, girl, you getting people like Ben? Okay, that's a heavy hitter.
Yeah, right?
That's a heavy hitter.
I'm like,
So
sorry, you went from Emma's Empanadas to Jenny from the Block. Sorry, what?
oh my God, they're cute together though. You know what? I'm a stand for Bennifer, okay? Because I feel like that's the happiest she's been. Like when you look at her, I feel like she just looks the happiest with him. Like I don't know, it just makes sense.
Yeah, well, the fact that she had a song with his name in the title, and I felt like even though she'd had 19 marriages before that, she'd never done that. I was like, oh. So, I mean, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, sometimes it
Talking of,
works.
talking of which, have you ever had like a celeb in the DMs?
Oh yeah.
Okay. We're waiting.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I can't say, guys. I don't. You know, I'm not gonna ruin my blessings. Okay, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But
Do you know
yeah,
what?
there's been some people in there. Yeah.
I thought you might say that. So, here is my theory, right? Why don't you just tell us about like one of the famous buffoons that was in your inbox? And then you just set a precedent of like, if you're like handsome and charming and super famous, I won't spill the tea. But if you're a clown, then I'm going to talk about you on live.
No, because you know what? I, karma is big. I don't need him trying to come after me. Like I respect everybody. Okay? I am not that's not
Yeah,
going to happen
okay.
over here with me. Like I just won't. But you know, it has happened and to be honest though, to be honest, I have not ran into I guess I would call it public figure that has been an asshole to me yet. And you know, I'm still making my way through this industry. So, you know, we'll see. But as of now, I have not, nobody has been rude or an asshole. I'll say that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel obviously I talk about celebrities quite a lot, but like I'm just like, listen, if I was gonna say like if you're nice to me, then we'll always get along. But
Yeah.
it's not a case of like, oh, revenge going after somebody. Sometimes like people are just a twat on TV and you just have to say it, you know?
You just have to say it. I agree. I definitely agree. But yeah, I haven't had that encounter. So fingers crossed I don't.
No, fingers crossed you don't. Fingers crossed you get some more A-list dick in the DM. Ooh.
It's heavy on the A list because some people think that they're A list celebrities and they're not.
Oh, you mean Chase?
Listen, when he said that, I died, and I can't. I don't think a lot of people know this either. We watched the show with everybody else. Like we didn't get to see it beforehand or anything like that. So like I'm watching it with the world, and I'm dying laughing at the same time everybody else is laughing. Because I'm like, why would he say that? Like, like why would you say that?
Do you know what? I think it's this thing. It's called delusion. Mm.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of that. Like, 'cause it's just it's not giving at all. It's not giving A list celebrity.
Okay, so tell us about some things that are like that you would say is like an absolute deal breaker for you.
Um, with dating, so absolute deal breaker is somebody who's like overly sexual. I don't like that at all. Like
Yeah.
That's a red flag to me. We can talk about a million other things under the sun when we're first meeting, but if you're like super, super like sexual, our first like few text messages or hanging out, or it screams to me like red flag, and you're probably used to sharing yourself with just anybody. And I love very, very like selective men. I love men who are selective with who they entertain. I love men who are not easily accessible. So if you do that, like, it's a wrap. Don't talk to me. So that's a major red flag. That's a deal breaker. um Somebody who is like just getting out of a relationship too. Like if you're like trying to date and like you guys just broke up like last week, please go heal
Yeah.
and maybe try to make it work, because I know you probably got like one more like spin the block in you to go back to your ex. So like do that, get that out of your system, and then maybe come talk to me. So like I don't need anybody who's like fresh out of a relationship, because first of all, they're probably still hung up on their ex. Second of all, they're probably not ready to settle down again. Like they want to go and hang out. They want to play the field. So no. And then I guess my third would probably be somebody who's like not big on family. I'm huge on family. Like I have a big family. I want family. So if you're not like family oriented, then it's probably not going to be like, it's not going to work out for me. So yeah.
Um, okay, so then maybe like on a less serious level, do what are things that like just like give you the ick? Like might not be like a massive deal breaker, but where you're just like, oh, this could be the end, but it just depends on like how much I really like you.
Oh my God. So, okay. I'm big on like dental hygiene. Like if your teeth are not together, I can't. Like it's gotta be something, or you gotta be working towards it. Like that gives me the ick. Dirty fingernails, ill.
Okay, but see,
And
I would argue, right, that things like that are not necessarily icks because,
you don't think
like,
so?
no, because they're like standard. It's like, yeah, come on, like, brush your teeth and clip your nails. Come on, what is this, the fucking Stone Ages? But like,
Listen.
an ick is like it's almost like something superficial where you're just like, oh no, I'm done. Like if like you're in a car with a guy and he's driving a manual, he's driving stick, as you guys would say, and then he
Uh-huh.
like stalls the car, and you're like,
Oh my God. Okay, that's it. Well, but see, the dental hygiene thing, that's an ick for me. There's people who like don't brush their teeth and have cavities. Like
yeah, but
that's a real thing.
I feel like that's an ick for everyone
Like,
who doesn't have that.
yeah, no. I also don't, okay, I don't like men who, okay, I am not, y'all probably gonna, but the whole dangly earring thing,
Oh, I'm so glad you said it.
the
Thank
whole
you. That's a
that,
huge ick.
please stay away from me with that dangly earring. I don't want anything to do with it. Because why? Why is it happening? Why is this a trend? And another thing I'm noticing, the men, I'm not going to say no names, the men are getting like extensions in their braids.
Okay.
Okay. I don't understand it. Like, just let your hair be free.
Mm.
Just let it do its thing. Like, I don't get that. So the dangly earrings and that, mm-mm, I'm not doing it.
I yeah, I feel like the correct term is like the men be girling.
Like I'm not, I'm not into it. Just stay with me with that, because next thing you know, I'm gonna be having my earrings missing, and I'm gonna be like, "Why are you in my like? What's going on? Where are my earrings? Why are my earrings missing?
Like, sorry, where are my extensions and why have you got hair down to your booty?
What's going on?" So I can't. No, that's that's the ick.
Okay, okay. That was a good one. That was a good one. Okay, so just with regards to like, okay, so have you seen that trend where it's like the TikTok trend where they go, it's like, oh, things that like I wish I'd known sooner, or no, it's things that I'm not doing anymore.
Okay.
So then it'll be like it's usually to do with like dating or relationships or like friendships even or even just general like lifestyle, like
Yeah.
maybe boundaries and stuff. Like what are the things that you just like at where you are now in life that you do not have time for?
I don't have time for like inconsistency. No, not doing it. Um, I don't have time for like for me, I my friends say this all the time, like if I like you, I'm moving fast. Like what do you do? Let's take a trip tomorrow. Like let's go. So if you're not matching that energy, I don't feel like I have time for it because like we both work. Like I like men who work. I'm working. Like if I'm being intentional with my busy schedule and I'm trying to make time to like do things with you, I need you to match that energy. And if you're not, like it's okay. Like I don't have time for that. So I don't have time for inconsistency. If you're not matching energy, I don't have time for that. Like, and I'm definitely not chasing anybody, so I don't have time to chase.
So what she said was, "Take me to Paris or keep it moving."
Like, what are we doing? Like, what life? Like, what is life if we're not traveling? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, hello. What? I'll get coffee. Oh, you mean like in Marseille? Yeah, sure.
Like, come on.
Okay, well, kind of like on the theme of, like things that you would pass down and things that you know now that you didn't know earlier. Like, what are some things that you just would love to have known like 5, 10 years ago?
Okay, what can I say? You know what? I've been seeing a lot, just dating wise, right? We're on the topic of dating. So, a lot of people are like, and granted, I'm new to TikTok, but I keep seeing this. I'm like, what is the algorithm? What's going on? Why are you guys trying to tell me this? But I keep seeing the women and the men who are like just teaching about how to date in this like new age and like the do's and don'ts. And a lot of people say, just date, like have options, like don't put your eggs in one basket, like enjoy dating. Just because you meet somebody, that doesn't mean that's supposed to be your boyfriend, like tomorrow, today, blah, blah, blah. Like have fun, date, and it's okay to let that person know that you are dating because hey, it's a competition. So, okay, hey, yeah, you don't want to hang out tonight. Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hang out with a another person who I might be interested in, like let them know because at the end of the day, men like to chase, and I think a lot of women are chasing men nowadays, and I hate seeing it for my girls. Like, please stop chasing men. Like, that gives me the ick. That's one of my icks. Seeing women chase men, it's just not. It's not supposed to happen naturally. So I think one advice that I wish I would have knew like later is like date, and it's okay to date. It's okay to date around, like have fun doing it. Dating can be fun. So yeah, I think that's my advice. Enjoy dating and
I
let them
mean,
know, hey, there's other
I
people
mean,
who are in line.
yeah, and also like off the back of that, I will say that what you were kind of saying about, maybe not necessarily like girls chasing men, but definitely girls letting men know like just how available they were.
Yes.
Like I mean, I love Carousel now, but when I first started watching the show, I was like, oh my God, Carousel! Like you heard of like an open book, but that girl was like an alfresco library. We had we, we knew everything in the first 2 episodes. I was like,
Yes.
what Carrie
Yeah.
Bradshaw would say is emotionally slutty. You need to keep some of it for yourself, baby.
Keep some of it for yourself. Remain a little bit of a mystery. Like I
Mystery.
love
Give me a
Carousel
little bit
too.
of mystery.
Yeah, Karis, I love her. She's the one who bought me into the house. So like, yeah, girl. Um, but yeah, it was a lot.
Did you just do Black Lives Matter to Carousel
Yeah,
bring you into that?
girl. Love you. Thank you for bringing me into the house. I don't know why I did that, but
No, I'm
I
with
don't
you. I
know.
fully support.
I have no idea why I did that. But yeah, girl, we like Carousel. That's my girl.
Okay, so I want to talk just like a little bit more about. I saw online that you have like a course, and it's self-care and what's the second part? Self-care and sales. Is that right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Come on, research.
Look at you.
Look at me. And hold on, wait. I have a quote. So it's the course is where you discuss the art of conversation, body language, personal branding, and style.
Yes, yes. So I have not launched that yet. That is in the works. But basically, it is I get a lot of feedback from a lot of women, especially women in real estate, about how to make a good first impression. How do you go after clients? How do you dress appropriately? So I wanted to combine something that would give me the opportunity to speak on self love, self care, how to dress appropriately for business meetings, and even just out and about, how to make a good first impression. Because I feel like you obviously only get one chance to make a good first impression, and everything is all exterior. So I talk about just how to communicate with that high profile client that you want to get, because I'm in luxury real estate. So a lot of girls always hit me up about how do you get clients? How do you get clients? So in that seminar, I definitely talk about where are these clients at? Where do they hang out at? How to dress for them? What conversations are being had? And ultimately, it all starts on the inside as well. So how do you maintain yourself? Like, what does self care look like to you? So that is something that I am bringing this year in 2023. So I will definitely be talking about that more. But I'm so glad that you brought that up. So nice little plug.
Plug. Well, obviously, like we want people to go and join your course and buy your course, but can you tell us more about like the art of conversation? Like, I mean,
Yes,
you were obviously very eloquent. I'm from the streets, but
honey, you are not giving me from the streets at all.
well, we all go a little bit.
I mean, I think we all have it in us, right? I mean,
Sure, but like, what is even just like a little tip for something where you think like so many people are going wrong with regards to conversations?
yes, I think body language is huge, right? Body language is everything. It's gonna, and energy does not lie. So energy is absolutely a part of conversations. I think people don't even realize that. Um, so any setting that you're in, body language is important. You don't want to give off the wrong impression. If I'm talking to a client, male or female, I don't want to slouch, or I don't want to be overly like this in front of them. I'm sitting up straight. I'm looking you in your eye. Eye contact is the number one when it comes to the art of conversation, because eye contact builds trust to me. If I'm looking you in your eyes, that is building some type of trust. I look like I know what I'm talking about, which I do, and you feel comfortable with me. So I think always just know, like, be confident in what you're saying, use eye contact, and always be aware of your body language.
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely makes sense because when I'm, say, for example, when I'm having a conversation with one of my really good friends, we like the eyes aren't moving, but if it's like a conversation with somebody, say, for example, who like I'm friends with, but it might be like our second or our third time going out together,
Uh-huh.
I'll be, especially if I'm talking, my eyes are up here and then my eyes are over there just because I'm a bit more nervous.
Right.
So it
And when
makes
your
sense.
eyes are not focused, like you said, you appear nervous. If you're
Yeah.
looking over here and over there, like I can tell when someone's nervous to talk to me because they're not looking at me. Also, I kind of feel, I think it makes me feel sometimes a little uncomfortable if I feel like someone's not looking at me. I'm like, okay, do I have something on me? Like, why is this person not looking at me? So you may make the other person on the other end feel uncomfortable because you're just not looking, but sometimes it's nervousness. So that's why I say it's that confidence that you have too behind it.
Sure, and I think it's also the same, for example, say like when you're walking through a room, if you walk through a room and you don't make eye contact with anyone, you'll likely do it because you're nervous, but people see it as almost stuck up.
Yep,
Whereas if you make eye contact with people, even just briefly, it gives them that moment of like relatability and humanity. Um,
exactly,
yeah, it
exactly.
just makes it a lot easier for them to speak to you, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, we're both humans, and even like a nice smile when you walk into a room, like just to say, hey, I'm not a threat, that goes a long way too,
Right.
especially as a woman. I sometimes I have RBF, so this is why it's important to me too, because I want to get out of that.
Same.
Sometimes you can't help it. So I'm
No, honestly,
always
like,
like intentional. You have to just be intentional. Like, okay, like if I'm gonna walk in, I'm gonna make sure I look at everybody. And it's also a power move. It shows that, hey, I'm here. Like I'm standing out. I'm in this room. I'm commanding the attention without doing too much by just simply making eye contact.
yeah. Well, yeah, it counteracts what we said earlier, where because you're not looking at people out of nervousness, you're
Mm-hmm.
just saying, I'm not nervous to look at you, you know?
Exactly. Yep.
So I want to ask you about, I had read online where you had been quite open about that you had a bout of depression after like an incident that you experienced. So I'm sorry that you had gone through that.
Thank you.
Um, what for you after that experience where you then experienced the depression afterwards, what after that was like the light at the end of the tunnel for you?
Definitely going to therapy, like speaking to somebody and having the language, because I didn't even know what depression was. Like I didn't know that I was actually going through depression. Like I had experienced this traumatic event. And so I was having like things like anxiety attacks and horrible dreams and obviously depression, but I didn't know what those things were. So I was going through it and I'm like, I don't know if you've ever had an anxiety attack, but it literally feels like you might be having like a heart attack, like
Oh, yeah.
it's a physical feeling. And so I was like, oh my God, like, what is this? So I think having the language behind what you're going through helped me heal, because now I'm like, oh, this is depression. This is an anxiety attack. This is a cause of your trauma. So once I started going to therapy and understanding what was going on, and even having like victim guilt, like a lot of people who go through traumatic events, you have victim guilt, you have survivor's guilt. So a lot of that was going on with me. And then seeking counseling helped, and then having my family, because there was days where I didn't want to get out of the bed, and I had my best friend would come and just sit with me or say, hey, let's get up, you have to get up, let's go outside. So just having like a really good community, I think that's important. So for me, that started me on my healing journey, is like going to talk to somebody and really having my family to help me get through it, because it's really really difficult, and it's a journey still. Like I'm not, I feel like once you go through something, I don't know if you 100% forget about it. You still have those feelings. And I think healing is a journey. So I'm still, I'm always on my journey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful that you had that family there for you. It definitely makes a difference when you have that kind of a support system.
Absolutely.
Um, and I'm a huge advocate for therapy, so I'm also super glad that you made it to therapy. Like,
Yes.
your family can comfort you, but they're not professionals.
Right. You're so right, because
Yeah.
obviously, like, and it's, to me, it was hard opening up to a stranger as well, because you're going to this person, yeah, they're a professional, but I don't know this person. So I'm like, I have to talk to you about some like traumatic, intimate details about my life that's hard for me to even say to my family sometimes, or people that are like super close to me. But I had to turn that off in my mind because I wanted to feel better. Like I didn't want to continue to feel like how I was feeling. And I knew that this was like the first step. So yeah, go and talk to somebody. I'm huge on that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm sure you would say that, like, actually just speaking to somebody like that
Yeah.
changed your life, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It did.
Yeah.
It did, definitely.
So just with regards to like therapy, because obviously I've been there myself. Was there anything in therapy for you where you were like, I feel like when you go and you speak to a professional, a lot of the times you have this almost like a light bulb moment. Was there something for you where you were like, oh, and then that just like it helped you put a lot of things into perspective?
Yeah, I think because I continued therapy like years after what happened to me. And I think I had a moment where it was like, you know how people say things happen for a reason, right? Like you hear it over and over again. But I had my moment where I was like, oh, that happened to me because of this purpose in my life. Like I had reached a moment where I'm like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing because that happened, because that changed the whole trajectory of my life. So I did have one of those aha moments like, yeah, you had to go through this to get to this point in your life. So definitely.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you went through that and thank you for sharing that with me too.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I didn't want to get like too deep. I was like, we...
That's okay. You know, we have to have like a nice balance of ratchet and righteousness, you know.
And you know what?
Balance.
Listen, that's a surprise for me because normally I'm like just 95% ratchet. I'm like, yeah, that's it. I'm like, we're good with that. Okay, so we're just gonna like finish up on like a bit of a lighter note. I want to ask you like a couple more questions, and then we're gonna move on to like this little quick fire game that I have, and then
Okay, let's do
we'll be
it.
done. So one thing I wanted to ask you about was like,
Oh, you're laughing. Oh my God. What are you gonna say?
no, but like as a woman with standards, right?
Uh-huh.
If a man gave you a rock, like an actual rock, not one for your engagement finger.
Yeah. What would I do? Shout out to Georgia. Shout
Huh?
out to Georgia because I feel like she was kind of nice too. Like she's such a nice girl. Like she was like, oh. But I probably would have taken the rock and threw it at his head. Like, what are you doing? Like, you really thought you ate with that. You really thought that this was gonna be something. What am I?
Yeah.
Is like a paperweight? Am I gonna use it and like hold down my papers on my desk?
I mean, that would be like the most logical use for a rock. But
I would just tell him to go take that rock and then just go dive to the bottom of the ocean and hopefully it just sinks him. Because what are we doing? That was a joke. You know what I mean? So if a man ever were to try to give me a physical rock, it better have like a diamond like inserted in there and I have to like chip away at it and reach the diamond. That's the only acceptable rock that I'm gonna get. Like, what are we doing? That's a joke.
no, even that is no. We're not chipping away at no rock girl. It's giving labour.
It's giving labor.
It's giving work. We're not really here to do that.
No, and he thought he was really doing something with that rock. Like when I watched it, I was like, wow.
but
Does
like,
it work on other girls?
but could you imagine just somebody being like, "Oh, I saw this rock and it made me think of you," and I'm like, "So you saw a rock and it made me think. It made you think of."
I'm like, what am I what energy am I giving to you that makes you feel like this rock?
Yeah,
What made you think
match.
about me?
Yeah.
I would have to like that would make me do some self-reflection. I'd be like, okay, what am I doing that makes him think that I should have a rock? I don't know.
Okay, and watching back the show, like, what was your most like? What was the moment where you were like, "Okay, I can't hold in my laughter. Like, this is too much."
You know what? I said this is good TV when Chloe
Yeah.
and Mitchell jumped in that pool and that water fell on Bartise's shade. I was like, this is gold. That was hilarious to me. Like I was like, what? Like who? How? Why? It was so funny. Like that was the funniest moment on the show. You don't think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I did wonder. I was like, were they like when they were sitting right there? Were production like, "Oh, why don't you have a little conversation on the steps by the pool?"
I have no idea what was going on.
I don't know if they care. Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea, but that was it for me. Like I hollered because I'm like, that's great. Like, that shit was hilarious. And then you see Bartise like almost like falls in the pool. Like
Yeah.
I was rewinding it back. Like if he would have stepped, he would have fell in the pool. And Shane almost slipped. Like he caught himself on the ground. It was just great. Like that was great TV. That was great fucking
You were
TV.
wishful thinking. You were like manifesting
I was like,
Bartise
maybe if
changing
he
career
just
again.
stepped. Yeah, no, that was hilarious. And then like seeing me, I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing at myself. I was like, girl, what?
Yeah.
Like they got the funniest parts of me. Like, cause I just was like, I really didn't know I was saying that.
Yeah, yeah. Was there anything like on the show where you're like, oh God, I actually wish they had cut that?
My last interview going out, I was lit. You people could tell. I was just like, and I wish that would have been cut out because I don't even know what I was saying. But yeah, I looked really sad too to be going home. I was like, I didn't find my perfect match. But whatever. I was like, this is so sad. But I mean, I don't mind any of my scenes to be honest. I'm happy I was in there for the little seconds I was. Like I think I'm happy with what I did on the show.
Sure.
So yeah.
Okay, so finally, just tell us like if you have anything like what you have coming up, and then we're gonna play this little game that you're probably dreading.
Okay. So of course everybody on this platform, I'm new to TikTok, so definitely follow me. I'm trying to get my TikTok followers up. Um, I'm definitely on Instagram, so you can follow me at Colleen Reeves. I am very much still an active real estate agent. So definitely call me for
If you've
real
got a house to
estate.
sell.
I'm very much still in real estate. I am going back and forth from Tampa and Miami, so I'm getting used to the Miami market, and I do have some things coming up, but I can't say right now. So I would say this: just follow me and stay tuned because I have signed an NDA and I can't talk too much. But yeah, some good things are coming
But is it like to do with TV?
potentially.
Oh, well, she did say she was part of the Netflix family. There you go. Maybe I'm thinking Love is Blind season 4.
You know what? They came to Tampa. Love is Blind came to Tampa. I saw them. They were doing some things in
Oh,
Tampa.
really? I would absolutely love to go on that show, but it just wouldn't work with like gay people, you know?
Why do you think?
Because you know, at the start, the women are in one house and the men are in a separate house.
Hmm.
You can't put like the men in one house and then other men in the other house because the men in the same house would just sleep together.
Okay, yeah. But I feel like there's room for that. I feel like I don't know anything, by the way, but I think that they should do something like that. I think that'd be great. Like I just to put a little twist on it.
I mean, there's definitely space for a gay dating show. I think they're just trying to figure out the logistics of it without
Right.
uh, the gay people actually ruining it.
Oh my God. No, I think they do have to probably work out some logistics, but there is room for it. Like, listen, there's room for a lot on TV right now. Don't even get me started. So we definitely want to see that as well. So Netflix, maybe. That's a good idea.
Okay, well, thank you so much for chatting with me. We're going to play this little game quickly and then I'm going to let you go about your day.
Sounds good.
Okay, so it's literally just like a quick fire round of like this or that.
Okay.
So some of it is going to be easy. Actually, most of it's pretty easy, if I'm being
Is
honest.
it? I'm nervous. And I
No,
actually, let me find
it's
my charger. I don't want my phone to die on you or me. While we do this, let me charge my phone really quick.
I'm just going to top up my tea.
Yeah, sorry. Because I'm like, I am on 10%. There we go. Let's go.
Okay, so buy the bag or buy the shoes?
Buy the shoes.
Friends or Sex in the City?
Sex in the City. Carrie Bradshaw, honey.
Carrie or Samantha?
Carrie. I'm
Sarah,
Carrie. I'm the black
Sarah,
Carrie.
Sarah Jessica Parker or Kim Cattrall?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Dior Chanel?
Chanel.
Meditate or medicate?
I love that one. It might be a little both. No,
Okay,
I would say meditate though. I would definitely say meditate.
meditate or masturbate?
Ooh, I feel like that's the same thing. That's the same thing.
You probably shouldn't get those mixed up while you're in yoga. Um, binge Netflix or go to the theatre?
I don't like going to the theater. Wait, which theater? Is it Broadway? I would love to do like go to Broadway. Like, is that kind of theater or like the regular movies?
See, that's how you know I'm from the streets, bitch. I was just talking about the cinema.
Oh no. So I'm like Broadway, yes. I'll go to Broadway.
Oh, we love to see it. A woman with class. Christine Quinn or Julia Fox?
Oh, Christine. Yes. My girl. We love her.
Savannah or Francesca?
Savannah. Duh. You already knew the answer to that. That was my girl. No
Um,
shade to Francesca though. I just don't know her like that. But I know Savannah.
I don't believe you. Say something shitty about Francesca.
I don't know Francesca like that. I barely saw her in the house. So I don't know.
Okay, Team Dom or Team Georgia?
That is a good ass question. I don't know. Georgia. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't have a problem with Dom at all. I don't want to say I'm Team Dom, but I don't have a problem with him. And I don't want to say I'm Team Georgia because I don't really know Georgia like that. You know, like it's like I don't know. And then I've been seeing a little bit of drama, so I don't know. I'm Team Nobody. I'm Team Colony. Let's say that.
Okay, so but just like objectively, from the drama that you have seen, whose side seems more plausible? I mean, Dom come out with a receipt as long as CVS. It was like,
He did. He did. I'm staying out of it. I don't know. I'm gonna let them have it. What did I say? If they like it, I love it. That's they got it. I'm out.
fair enough, baby, fair enough. Oh, thank you so much for coming on live with me today. I had so much fun.
I had a good time too. Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Of course, you are a queen. And we love seeing you, even though it was a short stint on the show, but we will keep our eyes out for what's coming next with you and
Yeah.
presumably Netflix.
What did you say?
What's coming out with you and presumably Netflix.
Oh, we can't. I don't know. I
We don't
didn't
know. We
say it.
can't
I
say
have no
anything.
idea.
It was me that said that. Don't put her in trouble, Netflix.
I haven't said a thing. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This was
Thank,
fun.
thank you so much and take care. I'll speak to you soon, babe.
You too.